You ever have one of those moments where your life flips upside down in seconds? That was me on a Thursday afternoon in a quiet, upscale neighborhood, one I didn't even want to be in. But my aunt had just had surgery, and I promised her I'd drop off some groceries. Nothing major, just a quick in and out. Or at least that's what I thought. I had just stepped out of my brand new black Tesla, gifted to myself after 2 promotions at the tech firm I worked at downtown. I'm 26, black, well-dressed, clean-cut. I don't say that to brag. I say that because none of it mattered when she saw me. I was halfway up the walkway to my aunt's place when I heard it. Hey, excuse me? That's not your car. I turned. She was standing at the edge of her driveway across the street, arms crossed, chin up, and that unmistakable glare that black folks know all too well. Tight blonde ponytail, aviators, workout gear like she'd been jogging, but not a drop of sweat on her. Yup, full-blown Karen in the wild. I blinked, unsure if she was serious. Come again. She pointed, like actually pointed at my car. I saw you pull up. That Tesla doesn't belong to you. You're not from around here. Whose car is that? I laughed, thinking she must have been joking. Mine? You have a problem. Her voice got sharper, like a teacher scolding a child. Don't get smart. I know everyone who lives here. And that car? That's not the kind of car someone like you just has. I could feel it bubbling. The old me would have gone off. But I'd promised myself I wouldn't be that guy anymore. I worked too hard to build something better. Look, I said, pulling out my keys and hitting the lock. Beep, beep. See? Mine. Karen didn't back off. In fact, she stepped closer. We'll see about that. I'm calling the police. I froze. Wait, what? Yup, she said, already pulling out her phone. Suspicious activity. Possible theft. You're acting nervous. I'm acting. I stopped myself. No point. She was already talking to dispatch like she was reporting a hostage situation. Now here's where it got real. I walked up to my aunt's porch and rang the bell. She opened the door just as Karen was shouting from across the street, "Don't let him in. He might be dangerous." My aunt squinted. What's that noise? I turned embarrassed. That's the neighborhood welcoming committee, apparently. Karen marched over. I kid you not, she actually tried to step inside my aunt's house. But my aunt, she's 72 from Mississippi and has been through real racism. She wasn't having it. She slammed the door in Karen's face and muttered, "Foolishness." Inside, I explained everything. My aunt shook her head. You just do what you came to do. Let me handle her. 5 minutes later, we heard sirens. Yup, cops. 2 cars. Lights flashing. Right there in front of her manicured lawn. I walked out, hands visible, calm as I could be. The officer stepped out, already resting a hand on his belt. Sir, step away from the house. Karen chimed in like she was the hero in a soap opera. That's him. He's been casing the neighborhood. I watched him break into that car. The officer looked at me. License and registration? I handed it over without a word. Didn't want to give them any reason. My aunt came out too, her arms crossed. Eyes locked on Karen like she was a fly buzzing too close to the potato salad. It only took the officer 2 minutes. Ran the plates, checked my ID. Well, he said, handing everything back. The vehicle's registered to him. No issues. Karen's face dropped. Like dropped. She wasn't expecting that. But she didn't stop. I don't care what the computer says, she snapped. There's no way he could afford that car unless he's... Unless he's what? My aunt interrupted. Karen blinked, stammered, but didn't say it. The officers exchanged looks, then turned to her. Ma'am, do you have any reason to believe a crime has been committed here? She folded her arms. I saw something suspicious. The officer nodded slowly. And that suspicious thing was a black man getting out of his own car? That shut her up. But not for long. As the cops prepared to leave, Karen muttered, "You'll regret this. I'll get proof. Just wait." Now that caught me off guard. Proof of what? I asked. She smirked. People like you always slip up. And then she walked away. But here's where it gets wild. The next morning, I woke up to find my face plastered all over the local neighborhood app next door. Karen had taken a photo of me in my car, claiming I was suspicious, possibly dangerous, and not who I claimed to be. And under that post, hundreds of comments, most supporting her, a few questioning it, and just one comment that would change everything. It said, "That guy, I know him, but not for the reason you think. Karen should be careful, because if he starts digging, she won't be the one calling the cops next time." And just like that, everything started unraveling. I don't know what it was exactly that kept me from ignoring it. Maybe it was that comment. Maybe it was her smug little smile. Or maybe it was the fact that I'm tired. Tired of always having to prove myself. Tired of being watched, followed, profiled. You try to live quiet, you try to live right, and someone like her always shows up. So yeah, I clicked on the comment. The guy who posted it, username was just JR no photo, no bio. But he'd only ever made 3 posts on that app, and this one was recent. It wasn't long before he messaged me directly. "I know her. Used to work for her husband. You want to know the truth about Karen? Let's talk." Now I wasn't sure if this was some prank, or worse, some setup. But curiosity, that's a powerful thing. So I replied, and we agreed to meet at a local coffee shop the next afternoon. I pulled up, still watching my back. I didn't know what kind of mess I was stepping into. But when this dude walked in, tall, white guy, maybe early 40s, sunken eyes like he hadn't slept in weeks, I knew he wasn't playing. "JR?" I asked. He nodded. "You the guy she called the cops on?" Unfortunately, he chuckled, but there wasn't anything funny in his eyes. "Yeah, that sounds like her." We sat down, and he wasted no time. "Listen, Karen, her real name's Kristen, by the way. She's not just your everyday racist drama queen. She's got secrets. Big ones. The kind that could ruin a marriage. Or a life." I raised an eyebrow. "You're gonna have to be more specific." He leaned in. "Her husband, Steve, used to be my boss. Real estate investor. Big time. I worked under him for about 6 years. Started out good, until I found out what he was into." I tilted my head. "What, like shady deals?" JR lowered his voice. "Worse. Fraud. Bribes. Money laundering through fake shell companies. And Kristen, Karen, she was neck deep in all of it. She handled some of the bank accounts. She'd even meet with clients when Steve couldn't. Sometimes she closed the deals. Now I was listening. Thing is," he continued, "a few years back, I found some files I wasn't supposed to see. Documents, emails, wire transfers. I brought it to Steve, thinking I'd done the right thing. He didn't say a word, just nodded. Next day, fired, locked out of everything. No severance, no references, just gone." I sat back, piecing it together. "So now you're saying Karen, Kristen, is scared I'm going to dig too deep?" "Exactly. She's paranoid. Always has been. That post she made about you, that wasn't just racism, it was deflection. You parked your car in front of her house. That probably triggered something. Thought maybe you were watching her, investigating her. People like her, they don't react, they overreact." I couldn't believe it. "So what now?" JR pulled out a small flash drive, set it on the table like it weighed 100 pounds. "This has emails, account numbers, even a few voice recordings. I've been sitting on it for years, waiting for the right moment. Maybe this is it. I'm not saying go public. But if she keeps pushing, you'll have leverage." I hesitated. "Why trust me with this?" He looked down. "Because I should have said something years ago. And you're the first person to push back. Everyone else just lets her scream." I took the flash drive. Later that night, I sat in my apartment, staring at it like it was Pandora's box. I didn't plug it in. Not yet. But I did open in the Nextdoor app again. Her post was still up. But the tone had shifted. New comments were rolling in. "Is this the same woman who yelled at the UPS guy last month? She's done this before. Last year, she accused a teenager of stealing her dog. Honestly, Kristen has a history of causing drama." The tide was turning. Slowly, but still turning. Then I got a text. "Unknown number. You need to stop digging." You don't know who you're dealing with. I stared at the screen. I hadn't told anyone about the meeting with JR. And I definitely hadn't told anyone I had the flash drive. But someone knew. And that's when I realized. Karen was watching me too. I didn't sleep that night. You ever get that crawling feeling on the back of your neck, like someone's watching you? That's what I had. I kept checking the window, pulling back the blinds, staring at the street below. Nothing. But the text was still there, glowing on my phone like a warning sign. You need to stop digging. You don't know who you're dealing with. That wasn't random. That was personal. By morning, I decided to finally plug in the flash drive JR gave me. My hands were sweating, and my stomach felt like it was doing backflips. The files opened up like a digital crime scene. PDF, screenshots, voice memos labeled with dates. I clicked on one. It was Karen. Her voice cold and sharp. Steve, if this falls apart, you pin it on the buyers. They signed. They're the ones laundering, not us. Understand? I'm not going down for them. She said it like she was discussing a grocery list. Like it was nothing. Another recording had her talking to someone named Rick. I didn't know who he was, but she was clearly ordering him to move money around, making threats if he screwed up again. I sat there stunned. This woman had called the police on me for stepping out of my own car. Meanwhile, she's sitting on top of a mountain of crime. The hypocrisy wasn't just offensive, it was dangerous. Then I clicked open a folder called Security Footage _ 2022. The clips were from home security cameras. Not just hers, JR had included footage from a neighbor's system too. And that's when I saw something that made my blood run cold. Karen had been watching me before the Tesla incident. There was a clip from a week earlier. I dropped off groceries for my aunt then too, but didn't notice anything strange. But in the video, Karen was across the street, on her porch, filming me with her phone. Another clip, me driving slowly down the street looking for a parking spot. Karen behind a bush, watching, recording. She'd been collecting evidence against me days before she ever said a word. I called JR. Did you know she's been stalking me? He sighed. She's paranoid, man. Every time a stranger parks near her house, she starts spiraling. But the fact that she's got footage of you before she even confronted you, that's premeditated. Why would she do that? Because people like her, once they get caught up in lies, they try to rewrite the truth. She wanted to paint you as the bad guy before anyone could ask why she was reacting that way. I was still absorbing all this when my phone dinged again. Another unknown number. This time, no words, just a link. I tapped it. Took me to a Dropbox folder labeled proofkaren.mp4. I hesitated, but pressed play. The video started with Karen standing on her porch. Her voice was clear, like she was rehearsing. This is my neighborhood. And that guy's been driving around too many times. I don't care what anyone says, I know he's up to something. And when the cops get here, I'll make sure they handle it. Then the footage jumped to the cop confrontation. She had filmed everything, but only the parts where I looked agitated, not the part where she accused me of stealing my own car or tried to force her way into my aunt's house. She'd spliced it all together. A neat little Karen documentary where she was the victim. And she was planning to release it online. That's why I got the warning text. That's why she looked so smug that day. She was planning this. She wanted to ruin me. Online. In the neighborhood. Maybe even at my job. I looked at my reflection on the dark screen of my laptop. And I made a decision. If Karen wanted to play this game, fine. But I wasn't playing defense anymore. It was time to go on the offensive. So I got up, grabbed my phone, and called someone I hadn't spoken to in years. My cousin Malik. He runs a YouTube channel, one of those investigative drama channels that tells real-life stories. Millions of followers. Sharp editing. Crazy engagement. And he's never been afraid to shine a light on injustice. I sent him the video, the audio clips, the messages, the footage. He called me 5 minutes later. Bro, this is gold. Are you ready for what comes next? I looked out the window. Across the street, Karen was watering her lawn like nothing had happened. But I knew the truth now. Knew what she was hiding under that calm, suburban mask. I clenched my jaw. Yeah, I'm ready. The video dropped at 8:03 p.m. It was titled, "Exposing the Real Karen, the Neighbor Who Tried to Ruin Me." Malik didn't hold back. He opened the video with Karen's voice, clipped from her own footage. "I don't care what anyone says, I know he's up to something." Then boom, cut to the part where she falsely accuses me of casing the neighborhood. Overlaid text said, "He was delivering groceries to his aunt." In 5 minutes, Malik turned her curated lie into a viral expose. He showed the police footage, the voice recordings, even zoomed in on her stalker behavior days before the incident. Then he dropped the real bombshell JR's files. He didn't name names. He didn't need to. He just said, "There's more. Financial crimes. Wire fraud. Evidence tied to the same woman and her husband. If they want to sue, let them. I'm just reporting the facts." The comments section lit up like fireworks. "This is sick. She's been doing this for years. She almost got that man arrested just for existing near her house. Imagine the damage she's done to people who didn't have a cousin with a platform." In one night, the internet flipped the script. By morning, Karen's life was unraveling and fast. First, her next-door post vanished. No apology. Just gone. Then her Instagram disappeared. Then her Facebook. But it didn't stop there. I started getting messages from neighbors I'd never even spoken to. "Hey, just wanted to say I'm sorry about everything. We should have said something. Karen tried to accuse my teenage son of loitering last year. We didn't know how to push back." One guy even sent me a video he'd found on his home security system from 3 months ago. Karen yelling at a Latina delivery driver, accusing her of scouting homes for break-ins. My blood boiled. She'd been doing this for years. Then the real twist came.